Hello, library friends. It's Melissa from the Montgomery County Library, and today I have a pretty quick and easy craft for you. It's something that's a recycling project, but at the same time, your kids can do the craft and they'll have something to play with when they're over. Back when I was a kid, we had a lot of paper dolls, and you might notice all my pet friends over my shoulder. We do have pets at our house, but every one of the pet boxes for a lot of the food have really cool pictures of pets on them. So today we're going to actually make paper doll pets. And then I'll show you some other things that we did as paper dolls too that might inspire you that you can do at home. So boxes are the best because they're already sturdy. They can hold up and make really great paper dolls. So there's a sample of one of the boxes that I used. I've already cut out the doggy. It's really easy. It's just flat cardboard doggy. And I cut out a long, narrow strip of cardboard out of the box too. This is actually what's going to make your paper doll pet stand up. So I've got my two parts cut out. That's something that if you have younger kids, you can cut it out for them. If you have older kids and younger kids both, maybe the older kids can cut them out while you're working on dinner tonight. And then the little kids can be the ones that actually, if they need to be pasted or glued or decorate them or whatever, the younger kids can do that and then they can play with them. So what I've done is I've taken my strip, I folded it in half, and then I used scissors and just made a slit down through it. So if you can see the slit, it's not all the way through, not really deep. I'm going to take my doggy that stands up and I'm going to make a slit, about a half an inch or whatever. Doesn't matter where, just do one on each side of the picture. I did that. And then literally, it's just like paper dolls were when I was a kid. You fit the cardboard into the slit on the doggy. So there's that. Some of them are easier to fit than others, but it fits in. And now our doggy stands up. So we can have a whole bunch of pets and doggies. If you're using something that's not a box, you see I've got a cat back there. I have another cat here. The cats all come in a small paper bag. So we just use scrap paper and glued to the back. That way it'll stand up and it's sturdy. That's something that your younger kids can do the gluing after you cut it out, whatever. And like I said, it was just scrap. It didn't even have to fit the whole cat because this part's still bendy. I just used enough scrap to make it sturdy enough to be able to hold him up. So now we have another cat that stands up and is made. And you don't have to limit it to things that come on boxes or to things like that. You can use magazines, you can use catalogs, um, food boxes. We happen to have one that had really great little muffin man. So I have a muffin man and he has all these little muffins. So maybe the muffin man can feed food to all the animals. I don't know. Maybe doggies like muffins. I even went on and cut out pictures of food on the box. So when your kids play with their paper dolls, they can pour out some food for their doggies. They can give them cookies. They can do whatever, so that they can play with them. Some of the ones that I did, I'll show you that were in a catalog. I have a cougar. I have a camel. I have some dragons, which leads you to believe, what do two dragons, the camel, a bear, and a bighorn sheep, what do they all have in common when the kids are playing? I have no idea, but I'm sure kids do, and that's part of the imagination of it because, after all, the Muffin Man and Noah will probably come up with a really good story of something to do with those animals. So you can cut those out of magazines, you can cut them out of maybe even the newspaper if there's pictures in the newspaper. Catalogs like I used, boxes are great because you don't have to line them and you don't have to put something stronger on the back. But make sure when you do cut out things out of the magazines, out of the boxes and stuff like that, that you keep the pile of words. I've got a whole bag of words here. Because the older kids and even younger kids that are starting to read can also use those words as an activity. So, for example, I made sentences with the words. So my sentence is sorry they're backwards, but you know how the computer works. Great story of Mega Pet and the Mini Family. I don't know, that's kind of a cool story. The story of Mega Pet and the Mini Family. So that's something that your kids can help make up a story with. Or they can just make words or sentences or things like that that they want, can learn those words if they're younger. If they're older, it just kind of gives them something to do. You could put them on magnets if you want to, or just, play with the words and use them. But make sure you keep the words too. So I'm sure it's not a project that's going to last forever. These are toys that are not going to last forever. And I know your kids have plenty of toys at home. But it's kind of like when you buy a kid a brand new toy and then they play with the box. It's going to be something new. They're going to be proud of it because you all made it together or they made it themselves. They're going to want to use it and they'll come up with all kinds of creative, imaginary ways to play with them, talk to them, feed them, do all kinds of cool stuff. So if you happen to make some at home, share them with our library Facebook page and let us see what you've done. We'd love to see some of the paper doll pets or paper doll people or paper doll whatever you make. We'd love to see it. We miss seeing you all at the library, but we look forward to when we can all get back together again. Thanks for joining me today.